And we've been waiting for this day for a long time. It's opening day in the NBA. Thanks for joining us as we start the new season. Alongside Hall of Famers Doris Burke and Grant Hill, I'm Brian Anderson. Allie LaForce on the sidelines. And here's what the schedule for Brooklyn looks like. On Friday, they'll go up against the Magic in Orlando. And then on Sunday, they'll take on Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks.
And you know, for that matchup with Denver, it's going to be game number 4 for them during the start of this NBA campaign. They'll want to get off to a hot start for the year.
And the starting lineup for the Nets. Johnson and Claxton patrol the middle. D'Angelo Russell is out there with Cameron Thomas. And it's Williams in at the small forward position. And for the Hawks, Johnson at the 4 with Okongwu at the 5. Dyson Daniels out there with Trae Young. And it's Risache in at the 3. Grant, nothing quite like the first game of a brand new season. So many possibilities.
Well, you know, B.A., for the players, you're excited and relieved at the same time. You get to see all the hard work you put in during the offseason pay off.
Now here's Thomas. Connects from downtown.
If Cam Thomas is playing pick and roll and he's got the ball, you know he wants to play for him.
And here's Young. Okongwu, a screen on Russell. Young misses.
Man, that's his shot. Maybe he was too wide open.
And it's Thomas off the drive. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. Well, if you don't overthink it, what Cam Thomas does on offense is very impressive at his age, Doris.
I think, B.A., what you love about Cam Thomas is he is fearless. He doesn't concern himself with efficiency. His mindset is, I'm going to score, and if I've missed the last 10, it doesn't matter. This next one's going in.
Well, you look at Cam Thomas, Grant. You think he has the potential to be a star in this league?
Well, you know, it's tough to say, B.A. He has a lot of talent, especially as a scorer. I think he has to keep evolving other parts of his game if he wants to become a full-fledged star.
Well, the Nets are still feeling the ramifications of trading for James Harden, Doris.
Well, B.A., consider in that trade they gave away Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, and 4 first-round picks for a total of just 80 games played for James Harden. The reverberations are still being felt.
Here's Daniels, picked up by Okongwu. Daniels passes to Okongwu.
Whatever opening he saw vanished quickly. Got to be more careful with those entry passes.
They've got numbers. Here's Daniels, and he drains the quick shot.
And leaking out well in transition. I mean, I like seeing Daniels get rewarded for hustling.
Outside Johnson. Thomas outside. A minute 42 left to play in the first. Here's Risache. Misses the layup. The Nets have gone 1 for 3 so far. Williams misses.
Boy, if you're going up against this guy in this close a range, you've got to defend with everything you've got. A tremendous job defensively.
Here's Risache. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From deep three-point land. And it's Thomas with the rebound.
We all know he's a good shooter, but from that distance, I don't think so.
Boy, we're seeing it more and more. Guys looking to create additional space by stepping back further from the line.
Now here's Thomas. He's got 5. From the strike. And that's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession. So both teams making some changes here. There's 31 seconds left in the first quarter here. Pass to Sharp. 6 on the shot clock. Capella with the defensive effort. Hawks trail by 3. It's LeVert on the wing. Here's Buffkin. There's a screen. The three ball. Hits the three-pointer. Outside Johnson. Tie game in Atlanta. And quarter number 2 will get underway just after this short break. And if you're just joining us, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen from Atlanta?
Give it up for their D. They're battling, communicating, and coming up with key stops.
Yeah, I think they wanted to come out of the gate strong, and they have. They've taken the early lead here.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Nets. They've got Trendon Watford, DeAnthony Melton out there with Johnson. Then they're Sharp, and it's Thomas in at the 3, the small forward. Over the last few years, Atlanta struggled defensively, Grant.
Yeah, the Hawks haven't been better than 20th in defensive rating since 2017. They've had some great offensive teams during that time, but their defense has held them back.
Here's Risacher. No points yet. Three-pointer. Gets the 3 ball to go.
Yeah, get used to seeing that. Risacher will be nailing threes for many years to come.
Melton outside. LeVert goes against Johnson. Oh, and makes it with the kiss. Johnson's got his first points of the night.
Well, defensively, to me, you've got to do a better job communicating once the screen comes.
And Quinn Snyder decides to call timeout. He's going to talk it over with his guys. Well, Grant, as you always say, in the playoffs, you need a player who can score in isolation.
That's true, B.A. And in a 7-game series, defenses disrupt your set offense. If your stars can go mano-a-mano and create something out of nothing, that's often the best you can get.
Nick Claxton, he's checked in for Brooklyn. D'Angelo Russell comes in for Johnson. Now here's Young. Back to Okongwu. Oh, the dunk by Okongwu!
Well, he's such a good athlete for a center. It's how he's able to succeed despite being one of the smallest 5s in the NBA.
Outside Russell. Pass to Thomas. The 3 is up. Gets it to drop. Now 2 of 4.
Well, Cam Thomas is an enthusiastic three-point shooter. This guy will not hesitate.
Now here's LeVert. Still without a bucket. To the paint. Here's Young. Claxton with a rebound.
Well, this is the kind of shot we've come to expect him to make. He's got to be upset with that one.
LeVert goes against Melton. Thomas outside. That's his 3rd basket in 5 shots. Solid work.
Now we're starting to see him deliver on offense. He's really found his tempo here in the second quarter.
Russell against Young. And here in the second quarter of action, just a hair under 2.5 minutes played. Fast break, Brooklyn. Here's Russell. Hits the rim on the way in, and the bucket is good.
Well, tremendous job on the pull-up jumper, right? D'Angelo Russell taking advantage of what the defense gives him.
19 seconds left in the second period. Here's Young. Rejected by Claxton. Russell against Young. Pass to Melton. Here's Thomas. Great D that time from Mann. And we're through the first half of play here in what's been a good one. It's the Nets up 4. All right, now let's check in with Allie LaForce. Allie, what do you have?
Coach Quinn Snyder with us now, and Coach, a bit of a lull for this team scoring the ball. Why?
It had nothing to do with anything other than us being aggressive. We're like walking the ball up the court. Whoever's got it, we've got to attack.
At least effort is something you can control. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks very much, Allie. We'll be back soon to start the second half of basketball.
Welcome to our 2K Sports Studio. The Brooklyn Nets find themselves in quite a battle here tonight.
Playing well on the road can be very difficult. They're doing a good job despite the challenges.
Away from home, they aren't letting the crowd get into their heads. In fact, now let's take a moment here for a look at the upcoming schedule.
You know, right now for the Hawks, you really get to see what they're made of after your hard work in the offseason.
Yeah, you have big changes, and then you have subtle changes. Everything in preparation for this moment.
And that's a wrap on halftime. Thanks for watching as we send you back to BA to call the second half.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during halftime. We've seen Cam Thomas really having a great game.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
Here's Young. He's scoreless, and six-man, a common term in basketball, has a unique meaning for the Atlanta Hawks, Grant.
Yeah, it's the name of their fan base. Extremely loyal and passionate, and they've swayed the outcome of games.
Ricochet and Johnson, they're the forwards. Trae Young out there with Dyson Daniels, and it's a Kongwu in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the Hawks 5. Russell pass to Claxton. Thomas outside. Six to shoot. The three. The rebound by Atlanta.
Yeah, and the defense really respects his shooting ability, and they showed it with that tight coverage.
Down low. Young inside, guarded by Russell. Kongwu with the bucket.
Yeah, what a look. I mean, Young, a high-level passer.
Outside, Williams. Johnson on the wing, covered by Johnson. Here's Thomas for three. Fires in the triple. Thomas has got 13 now.
This guy is a pick-your-poison kind of player. Very hard defensively to cover all your bases with him.
Young, the pass to Daniels. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line. Cam Thomas picks one up. Atlanta shooting their first free throws tonight.
2 shots.
And he makes the first. You know, Grant, with the Nets, there was so much optimism just a few years back.
And it was just too bad to see things go south. It's a reminder that nothing is as easy as it seems in the NBA. Even with a superstar roster, things don't always work out.
Brooklyn making a switch here. Melton's checked in. And Jordi Fernandez calls timeout. Coach wants to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
The game on the line. Nice Trae is dangerous, man. Young said, I've been owning the moment my whole life. That's what I do. I work too hard to be afraid of the moment. Brian?
Well, Allie, it definitely shows in his play. It's great stuff there. Thank you. A minute 31 left in the third quarter. Pass to Johnson from outside the arc. Rebounded by the Hawks. Okongwu's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Ricochet. Outside Young. Let's go with a 3. Claxton with a rebound. Claxton's got 4 rebounds now. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws.
Hey, if you can't block it, sending him to the line can be the next best thing.
Brooklyn shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. The first one falls. And good on the second, so he makes them both. And we're just about 2 minutes into the final half of play now. It's Johnson with a drive. LeVert outside. And Atlanta misses again. The Nets have gone just 1 of 3 in the second half. Thomas with the ball. He's got 13. And it's off from three-point range. Atlanta's gone only 1 of 3 from deep here in the third. Pass to Nance. Now LeVert. Outside Johnson. Clock at 6. Here's Okongwu, covered by Johnson. And here's LeVert for 3. Claxton with a rebound. Claxton's got 5 rebounds in the game. Russell, the pass to Thomas. Over Johnson. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater.
Makes his selection just in time. Well done.
Well, finishing quarter strong. Every coach preaches it. Nice work.
And and it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And just a selfless decision from your 2-guard, showing his ability to get his teammates good looks.
How about the secondary playmaking you are getting? Wait to have that from the shooting guard spot.
Well, what a terrific game it's been so far. With this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. So on the floor for Brooklyn, Johnson and Claxton patrol the middle. Cam Thomas out there with D'Angelo Russell. And it's Williams in at the 3. And it's Thomas off the drive. Okongwu with the rebound. Hawks trail by 4. They're searching for a way to score.
Yeah, buckets have been very tough to come by.
Here's Williams. Rebound, Trae Young. Here's Rizachet. Williams defending. Outside Young. Young on the drive. Brooklyn with the board. Pass to Russell. Thomas outside. Screen by Claxton. Beyond the arc. Cam Thomas, that one's good.
Cam Thomas is rolling. He's attacking at will. Somebody better shut the water off.
And the Hawks shooting 35% so far in this one. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Nets.
Their hot shooting from long distance has been the key. Spacing the floor and rising up with that confidence.
I think tonight has also, guys, been about the lost art of the mid-range jumper. If you utilize that in-between game right, there's plenty of value in it.
And he makes both free throws.
He showed a lot of composure that trip to the line. Now it's almost a one-possession game.
And the timeout called here by Jordi Fernandez. He is not messing around, calling them into the huddle. A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Jordi Fernandez's huddle. Coach had a direct message for the team saying no matter the lead, no NBA game is ever over. Do not let your guard down. We'll see if they hold on.
Thanks for that, Allie. Pass to Williams. To the inside, Thomas. He hits again. 7 for 13 and looking confident.
That's agility and touch. Cam Thomas gets that to fall inside.
Here's Young driving in. It doesn't go for him. Johnson with the defensive effort. Brooklyn leading by 7. Pass to Thomas. Outside, Williams. There's the screen by Johnson. Shot clock at 6. Thomas outside. Team first. 1:10 left to play in the fourth. Claxton passes to Johnson. Outside, Williams. 5 on the clock. Lets it go from deep. Okongwu with the rebound.
You will not see this guy miss many of those. He's one of the keys to their floor spacing.
The 3 from Rizachet. And it's Good. And now they trail by just 4.
How about the rookie, Zachary Risachet, delivering a timely bucket?
That's tipped. Daniels passes to Johnson. Back to Young. 4-3. Oh, he nails it! Oh, what a sensational bucket! That brings him within 1. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock and the game clock. Expect them to take their time this trip down.
Yeah, B.A., the clock is theirs to burn.
Thomas outside. 6 on the shot clock. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up.
Man, the defender really went after him.
First free throw is good, and that'll put him up 2. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Well, it doesn't get much bigger than that. A perfect trip to the line to give them the critical 3-point cushion. What poise.
And so it's Quinn Snyder here calling timeout. The pressure is on, and he's got a plan to share with his guys. Any speculation on what we're going to see coming out of this timeout?
Tricky situation here. They need some kind of bucket to stay alive.
And it's either got to be a 3-pointer or a score quickly and take the foul.
Yeah, just trying to keep this game alive. Not a bad foul right there.
2 shots.
He gets the first, and that gives him a 4-point cushion. Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one. Now a timeout called by Atlanta. Just 4 seconds left in the 4th quarter. From a coaching perspective, what are the keys to focus on here?
Not much time left. You think they have a chance to come back?
And here's a Kongwu for 3. So it's a narrow victory for the Nets, pulling it out for the W.